Whoa, yo, what up? I have blue hair. No, I haven't washed it in like 3 days, hence why it's up in a ponytail. Anyway, this is a what not to take to university now. I'm not currently in university at the minute due to this whole COVID situation, and everything I'm telling you not to take is based on my personal experience, and I'm sure some of these will probably be a bit repetitive because some videos have already stated most of these, but this is just reality. I know people get excited. I was one of those people that got excited and did a whole entire shopping spree, bought random stuff I didn't even need. Trust me, you do not even need this. Starting off, number one, appliances. You do not need to buy a kettle, a toaster, a mini fridge, or an iron. Trust me, you just won't use them. Kettles, toasters are supplied by the accommodation normally, and if they're not supplied, I guarantee somebody else would have bought one, so you've got one anyway. I bought a kettle with me for my room. I used it twice in the entire year, so you just don't need a kettle. Mini fridge. I bought a mini fridge with me, used it for about the first month, and then never used it again after that. I bought it because I was vegetarian and now I'm vegan, but I brought it to separate foods, but I just never used it. It was just too much hassle to have to go to my room to get food out, to bring it to the kitchen, so I just never used it. So, no. And then irons. I had 2 flatmates that both brought irons. They was like, oh yeah, right, I like my stuff ironed at home, and I was like, oh, you won't use it. They never used it. They ended up leaving them at uni because they never used. So just don't do it. Just don't. It's not worth it. You may think, oh, I'm gonna iron something, but just don't. If you've got an ensuite and you want to iron something, just put it in the bathroom, like on the back of the door, and the steam will make it straight. Next up, Tupperware. You do not need tons of Tupperware. I kid you not, I've bought like 5 boxes of Tupperware. You need 1 box or 2 max. Trust me, you do not need 5 boxes of Tupperware. Just takes up space in the cupboard and you never use them. And you may think, oh, but what if I want to bulk cook and freeze? Girl, who are you kidding? You will not bulk cook and you will not freeze your stuff. Freezer space is so limited that you will never be able to fit anything that you make in the freezer anyway. Just don't bring it. Just bring 1, because I guarantee all you're going to make is pasta. So yeah. Next up is tons of clothes, tons of shoes, and tons of bags. This was my mistake, honestly. Looking back at myself now, and I'm just thinking, what was I doing with my life? I brought so many clothes with me. I bought about 12 pairs of shoes with me, and I bought about 4 bags with me. Just don't do it. I ended up living in joggers most of the time at uni. Then when I was going out on nights out, it was jeans and a bodysuit, skirt and a bodysuit, or skirt and a nice top. It was never anything fancy. Never wore heels. You probably won't need to bring heels, especially if you're out in a city. People just don't wear heels, don't wear stuff like that. It's not worth it. And yeah, just don't do it to yourself. And you've got to bear in mind as well, is like, most universities have their student unions. They do sample sales. Like the amount of Pretty Little Thing sample sales I went to, where you could buy items for like £2 an item. On top of that, you have sales, you have online shopping, you have, as soon as that student loan comes in, you're out of the shops shopping. You will accumulate stuff. You just, trust me, just don't do it. Just have a look through your wardrobe, take what you wear, not anything extra. Next up, random kitchen stuff. Honestly, I bought every single kitchen utensil I possibly could. You do not need kitchen stuff. You do not need a bowl, like a plastic mixing bowl. Do not need it. If you're never going to make cakes or anything, you do not need a plastic metal bowl. You don't need a wok. Just use a frying pan. Simple. You don't need a wok. You don't need like 20 pans. You need, what? I got away with one pan. That's pretty much all I used the entire year was one pan. You don't need all those like plastic things like the spaghetti strainers and all those like spatulas, things like that. You don't need them. You really only need a wooden spoon and like one of those plastic spoons. That's pretty much all you need. A pan, a baking tray, a colander, and that's pretty much about it for baking stuff. You've got to remember, what are you going to cook? Next up is folders / accessory bits. Before I went, did a massive shop and I ended up bringing with me 2 folders. I went out and I bought tons of coloured pens, tons of normal pens, highlighters, because I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be like college, it's going to be all like I can write down all my pretty notes. Nope. The uni ended up giving, I'll show you like this, ended up giving books like this where you just write the slides in it and you just write your own stuff in. So yeah, you really only need one notebook, a pen and a highlighter. That's pretty much all you need. If you're very organised and do a lot of like revision work, filing and your own work, bring one folder, but you don't need tons and tons of stationery. Trust me, don't need it. I'm going to say is a printer and a laptop. You do not need a printer. The universities have printers for you to use, and second of all, most of your work is online, so you will have no need for a printer at all. Most of my work was on Moodle, so you just do your assignment, upload it, you don't even have to print it out. So if you can't afford to bring like a laptop, or you don't currently own one, don't rush out and buy one. You won't really need it. And most of the time in lectures anyway, I just use a notebook or pen. Never really used a laptop. Next up, don't buy textbooks. It is not worth it. Trust me. I even put this in caps. Do not buy textbooks. At the start of the year, the teachers were like, oh yeah, all these books are what you're going to use and all this stuff. And then they was like, oh yeah, you can buy this here, buy this there. Honestly, most of the time, when the teachers put that lecture on Moodle, they would put the online pages of that book with it as extra reading, and you can access that book for free online. And not only that, did I personally look at any of these books? No, not a single one. None of them helped me. And if you really, really need it in book form, go to the library. There's always going to be something there. Just don't spend like £12-13 on one textbook. Not worth it. Not beneficial to your course at all. Trust me. The final thing I'm going to say is do not bring a fancy washing basket. By this, I mean I brought a washing basket. I'll see if I can find a picture and then I'll pop it on the screen. But I've brought a fancy washing basket IKEA. So unpractical. Just bring a large tote bag or something like that to stick all your dirty laundry in, because my washing facilities was like round the corner. We was the furthest block away from my washing facilities, and I was also on the top floor with no lift. So trying to lift this awkward washing basket down the stairs to go do your laundry is just don't do it. Get just like a cheap foldable one, or like I said, a tote bag, and use that. So thanks for listening. Hopefully see you again soon. Bye.